Wale Adenuga Production present Nnenna and Friends, a passion for the African child.
Now is the time, this is the moment for me to share my love with you. So come on everybody, it's all about you. All about you. Nnenna and Friends, it's all about you. It's all about you. Nnenna and Friends. Nnenna and Friends. Nnenna and Friends.
Bring your game on if you have what it takes on the Nnenna and Friends BrainPower game.
Success depends on proper preparation, and without such, failure is unavoidable. That's how we say a big welcome to you on today's episode of your favorite TV show, the Nnenna and Friends, a platform for improved learning. Thank you. I have with me 3 contestants. Contestant number 1 is
My name is Adegbite Ayomide. I'm from Evan Love High School. I'm in SS1.
a round of applause for her. Contest number 2.
My name is Nwanokwara. I'm from Utop High School. I'm in SS1.
And my final contestant is
My name is Ogunsan Rachael. I'm from Vineyard Comprehensive College, SS1.
Thank you. Contestants, each of you will be allowed to answer 5 questions, and you have 30 seconds to provide the answer to each question. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Contestant number 1, your question.
Number 15.
Choose from the options lettered A to D the one that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word. Ojo used to play tennis every day. A is familiar with playing. B has to play. C was in the habit of playing. D was made to play.
Has to play.
Final answer?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You want to look at it again? I'm sorry, your time is up. The right answer is was in the habit of playing. A round of applause for her. Contestant number 2.
Number 1.
Choose from the options lettered A to D the one that is opposite in meaning to the underlined word. Florence thanked the girl reluctantly. A. Eagerly. B. Calmly. C. Furiously. D. Unwillingly.
Unwillingly.
Final answer?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Uh-oh. That's the bell. Unfortunately, you're wrong. The answer is A. Eagerly. Contest number 3.
Question number 3.
Question 3. From the options lettered A to D, choose the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. Our government is making determined effort to eradicate illiteracy. A. Compulsory. B. Indifferent. C. Innocent. D. Unreliable.
D. Unreliable.
Our government is making determined effort to eradicate illiteracy. Compulsory, indifferent, innocent, unreliable.
D.
Final answer?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you're wrong. The answer is B. Indifferent. Contestant number 1, your question.
Number 6.
Choose from the options lettered A to D the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. The hasty action by the laborers will bring nothing but discredit to them. A. Honor. B. Shame. C. Reward. D. Disgrace.
Honor.
If that's your final answer, are you
Reward.
sure? Reward. If you hadn't changed that answer before the bell rang, you'd have been correct. The answer is honor. But you're wrong because you weren't sure. I'm sorry. Contest number 2.
Number 5.
Number 5. Choose from the options that are A to D, the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. Men living in an extended family know that they have to be responsible for the welfare of some other person's children. A. Extensive. B. Nuclear. C. Neutral. D. Contracted.
Nuclear.
Correct. Contestant number 3.
16.
Number 16. Choose from the options that are A to D, the one that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word. Practicing medicine is more lucrative than people think. A. Understand. B. Assume. C. Know. D. Like.
B.
Correct. Contestant number 1, your question.
Number 8.
Number 8. Choose from the options lettered A to D, the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. BC sobbed by the door because she had lost her mother's precious necklace. A. Cried. B. Wept. C. Laughed. D. Sniffle.
C. Laughed.
Correct. Contestant number
Number 10.
Number 10. Choose from the options lettered A to D, the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. Ayo takes his studies rather lightly. A. Humorously. B. Tediously. C. Carefully. D. Seriously.
Humorously.
Final answer? Are you sure?
Yes.
You're wrong. The answer is D. Seriously. Contest number 3.
18.
Number 18. Fill in the gap with the most appropriate word from the options lettered A to D. Be careful not to dash this money. A. Lose with a double O. B. Lost. C. Loss. D. Lose with a single O.
D.
Correct. Contest number 1, your question.
Number 20.
Fill in the gap with the most appropriate word from the options lettered A to D. My classmate, dash I haven't seen for years, wrote me back. A. Whose. B. Which. C. Whom. D. That.
C. Whom.
Correct. Contestant number 2.
Number 17.
Number 17. Fill in the gap with the most appropriate word from the options lettered A to D. 4 weeks dash enough for the police to conclude their investigation. A. Are. B. Aren't. C. Is. D. Has been.
C. Is.
Correct. Contest number 3.
Question 4.
Choose from the options lettered A to D, the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. The demonstrators have refused to call off their action. A. Consolidate. B. Start. C. End. D. Resume.
D.
Final answer?
Nnenna and Friends. Nnenna and Friends.
Yes.
The demonstrators have refused to call off their action.
D.
Final answer?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You want to look at it again? I'm sorry, you're wrong. The answer is B. Start. Contestants, your final round. Contestant number 1, your question.
Number 14.
Number 14. Choose from the options lettered A to D, the one that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word. She was taken aback by his attitude. A. Delayed. B. Dragged back. C. Surprised. D. Overwhelmed.
C. Surprised.
Correct. Contestant number 2, your question.
Number 13.
Number 13. Choose from the options lettered A to D the one that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word. Toby disregarded the doctor's advice. A. Respected. B. Dislikes. C. Ignored. D. Undertaken.
C.
Correct. Contestant number 3.
Question 11.
Question 11. Choose from the options lettered A to D the one that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word. Some children mimic their teachers. A. Remember. B. Imitate. C. Like. D. Tease.
B.
Final answer? Correct. We have come to the end of the question session, and contestant number 1 has 3 points. Contestant number 2 has 3 points. Contestant number 3 has 3 points. Which means there is no winner. Am I right? There's a tie. What do? We break the tie by asking more questions. Am I right? So contestants, another opportunity for you. Contestant number 1, your question. Number 24. Fill in the gap with the most appropriate word from the options lettered A to D. The report said that the Honorable Speaker dash impeached. A is to be. B will have been. C might have been. D may have been.
A. Is to be.
Correct. Contestant number 2.
Number 30.
Number 30. Fill in the gap with the most appropriate word from the options lettered A to D. There was dash any traffic as he drove home. A. No. B. Usually. C. Normally. D. Hardly.
D. Hardly.
Final answer?
Yes.
Or you want to look at it again? Take your time. There was dash any traffic as he drove home. No. Usually. Normally. Hardly.
B. Usually.
You know, if you had not changed it from hardly, you'd have been correct. Hardly is the answer. You need to be sure. Contestant number 3, your question.
Question 7.
Question 7. Choose from the options lettered A to D the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. The policeman was asked to investigate the matter. A. Ask about. B. Inquire about. C. Forget about. D. Examine.
C.
Forget about. Correct. Unfortunately, contestant number 2 is out of the game. Am I right? Yes. So the competition is between contestant number 1 and contestant number 3. Contestant number 1.
Number 25.
Fill in the gap with the most appropriate word from the options lettered A to D. The train dashed before I arrived. A. Has left. B. Had left. C. Would leave. D. Leaving.
A. Has left.
Final answer?
Yes.
A. Has left.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you're wrong. The answer is B. Had left. Contestant number.
Question number 2.
Question number 2. Choose from the options lettered A to D the one opposite in meaning to the underlined word. Shola's car is badly damaged. He had to look for an expert mechanic to fix it. A. Uneducated. B. Novice. C. Awkward. D. Unscientific.
B.
Final answer? B. Novice. Correct. We've come to the end of the question session. We've been able to break the tie, and contestant number 3 emerged our winner. When we come back after this short break, we present our prizes to our contestants.
Nnenna and Friends. Nnenna and Friends.
Bring your game on if you have what it takes on the Nnenna and Friends. BrainPower.
Welcome back, friends. It's still your favorite TV show, the Nnenna and Friends. It's time to award our contestants their prizes. My third position goes to Oluchi Nwanokwara. Well done. This is the certificate of participation presented to your school, a dictionary for you, exercise book for you, gift bag from Nnenna and Friends for you, and of course, courtesy Bobo drink. This is Boik yogurt presented to you. So, what do you have to say to them?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. My second position goes to Adegbite Ayomide. Smiling lady, how are you? Here's a certificate of participation. It's presented to your school. A dictionary for you. Exercise books for you, gift bag from Nnenna and Friends for you, and of course Boik yogurt for you. So what do you have to say to Bobo Drink? Thank you very much. A round of applause for her. Our winner today is Ogunsan Rachael. A round of applause for her. Congratulations! Here's a certificate of participation presented to your school, an award of excellence presented to you, a dictionary for you, exercise book for you, gift bag from Nnenna and Friends for you. The beautiful wall clock is presented to your school, and of course, Boik yogurt for you. So what do you have to say to Bobo?
Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. It's time for us to go now, my friends. But before I go, I leave you with this. Never get distracted by irrelevant things that could hinder you from achieving your set dreams and goals. Till I come your way again next week, keep being good and study real hard. See you next week. I love you. To accomplish great things, we must dream as well as act. Don't forget that.
Now is the time, this is the moment for me to share my love with you. So come on, everybody.